All right, we're recording the show 795 video. Let's start the audio and get this going. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 795. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. You can leave me a voicemail message on Skype. The name is Mike Tech Show, all one word. Or record. Haven't had any voicemails in a while. I get plenty of email. Record a voicemail question or comment or follow-up, something you like, something you hate, and email me at miketechshow@gmail.com. Just record the audio, save it as an MP3. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/MikeTechShow, and also Facebook.com/MikeTechShow. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call, robust remote support for IT pros and MSPs, providing unattended and on-demand remote access. Try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com, or go directly to instanthousecall.com, and don't forget to use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. And while you're at the website, you'll see this big banner on the left-hand side for Amazon. Click that. That is the new link to support the Mike Tech Show. Buy everything. Bookmark that link. It's now a nice short Amazon link that you can save. Click on that before you add anything to your cart. And then when you check out and it ships, I'll get a small credit. Your price stays the same, but a small commission comes, and that adds up. This is like starting all over with this link, and I need your help to dig in and replace all your Amazon links that you had in the past and get the new link. And thank you for supporting the show. I really, really, really appreciate it. So, got a great show lined up tonight. Gonna do some stories from the trenches this week. Lots of good things. But the main topic tonight is Facebook ad scams and PayPal. And I don't know if this is, especially my comments on PayPal, and I'm actually going to read something that someone put in a group that I think is important. Don't know if this is going to surprise you or not about PayPal. Then I have some emails. I think we're going to have time, and I will catch up on the email. So let's start from the point of stories from the trenches, and this also brings into next week's schedule. Now, last week I mentioned that there might not be a show this week, and maybe that's why the chat room's kind of light tonight. I now have the work booked for the client for next week. So Wednesday afternoon, my son and I head out, and we are going to a client that's 3 hours away, and we don't want to have to drive that every day for a couple days. So we're staying in a hotel down in really South Delaware. And what we're going to do is help two clients, a financial advisor and CPA that's on the board of directors for a healthcare office. And we're helping the healthcare office first on Thursday, and then Friday we're helping him. So we're staying 2 nights, coming back Friday night, and there's just no way to be able to do a show. I'm going to be wiped on Saturday. I got plans on Sunday, so no show next week. Now, and by the way, we have a stack of equipment that we're packing up, and it's already packed, waiting to go, and we're going to bring that with us next week. In my lower living room, remember I was talking about all the computers last week? I forgot to mention something. There are 13 additional systems, 1 server, and 12 systems that when my son was at a client a few weeks ago, they asked him to recycle all of them. And he busted his butt getting all of them into his vehicle, and after he was all done working for hours, and then brought them here. So here's what we got to do. We're going to divide and conquer, take out all the hard drives. This is our process. Then we have a machine dedicated to wiping the drives. That's going to take a few days. So going to make sure each drive is wiped. Then we are going to drill 2 holes in each of the drives. That's our process. Now, if a client asks for a certificate, we'll provide that in writing, that we certify that we have destroyed the data and that we have destroyed the drives. So don't know if that's something you do, and, let me know. Right now we're using D-Band, and I'm looking into some other software that we will begin to use. Mr. Sam in the chat, he says red key USB. I'll have to look at that. So thank you for that. So now that's a lot of work for Monday. And then Tuesday, they're going to be taken to a place with doesn't, where now we've removed the drives. So now we take it to a special place for the recycle, that they will take care of getting rid of the actual hardware. So now, yesterday, an incredibly busy day for my son and I. He had an appointment at 8 a.m. because the night before, one of our dental office clients lost internet. We had them reboot the router, reboot everything. They called Verizon, and this is a lesson. Verizon would not, they said, we can see that you have a modem, a router that's not ours. We know we can get to the router, so that's it. We know you're up. We did not replace that router. Their new phone company that came in, and of course they didn't talk to us, put that router in. Now, that was a little while ago. So my son is there in the morning. We have an appointment in the afternoon for a client where we have more systems to deploy. And then later that day, another problem with a system that's the shared PC for an office that can't connect to the internet, can't connect to anything. That I'm going to get on my soapbox in a minute, because it's the parent company that disabled that. So here's what my son finds. He brings all of his test equipment. He gets to the office, and he sees this rogue Wi-Fi access point that we didn't put in there. Actually, the dentist's wife put it in so the public Wi-Fi could, I don't really believe it was public, but they were forced to go to Facebook when you sign in to do a review. I get the marketing. Yes, I understand. But what happens when that device has a duplicate IP address and causes the internet outage? So once Michael diagnosed everything and he said, what's this? He pulls that out of the mix, reboots the main router again, and everything starts to come back online and work. And he hangs there just for another hour just to make sure everybody's up and running, the dental software's working, they can get out to the internet. So he saved the day yesterday morning, and then now proceeds to the next client. I'm on site for my normal Wednesday on site for my biggest client, and the phone calls are starting to come in and the messages are starting to come in. It's really starting to add up now. So we got to get back to everything. So literally when I'm done at 1 o'clock, I'm on the phone following up and scheduling some different work that has to happen. My son takes care of the systems that was the easy part of the day, and then heads down to the client that is going to remain nameless. Let's just say it's a very large financial advisor where the parent company controls everything, And they decided, and we did not know this, that this system was supposed to be decommissioned. And this is where they were sharing files on. And the parent company disabled internet access, just disabled the whole network adapter. You don't even see that it's disabled. And they had tried everything, but when my son got there was a message stating that that was disabled. So they had to call the parent company. What a nightmare. I got involved in this while I'm still juggling other phone calls with another client that a laptop died. The bottom line here is they are making sure that it's officially sanctioned, this system, by the parent company. And they insisted on wiping and doing Windows 10 from scratch. Now, they have data. Now, you're not allowed to copy the data off. So how do you do it? Well, you have to use WinZip, encrypt the data, then take it and copy it to an external source. Today, let's just say it's a complete disaster. I was on the phone as the parent company tries to redo the system remotely, and I still don't think it's done. And we're not allowed. Just a nightmare dealing with this. So now I have to go pick up a laptop in the middle of this from a client that it died. And this is a CPA. All the laptops are whole disk encrypted with BitLocker. This is another lesson. Anytime you deal with any client that the machine is whole disk encrypted, you make sure you get that BitLocker key or whatever key from whatever software it is, and you get that saved onto a secured USB stick. You put that in a secure area, and I have a locked drawer that we have printouts of that key. So Mr. Sam in the chat, if you don't have that key, you're done. So luckily for us, I had the key. So we take the laptop, or I take it, and I bring it back, and it's just like a Windows 10 update that went rogue and made it where never to boot again. Actually, this was not a Windows problem. In the end, it was a hard drive problem. Not a hard drive problem. It was a hardware problem where this Lenovo 570 will not boot, even with a brand new solid-state drive in there that we put in this morning. We can't even get to the point to barely install Windows 10. It was so bad. This system's old enough. We said, that's it. I took the drive. I put it in a dock on my system. It asked for the BitLocker key. I typed that long key in. I had access, and I got the user's data. Now, they're not supposed to save any data on the laptop because they have a full server. And they're in the office, and they're supposed to save everything to the server. That's why they don't back up the workstations or the laptops. So why is this person upset? She didn't follow the rules. So they're lucky. And I got to bring this up with senior management to say, look, I know that the rule is to have everybody saved to the server, but there's moments where maybe they didn't get a chance or something interrupted them. Maybe they had to help a client or something. Sometimes, what if they're not in the office? We got to be backing it up to an online service. Of course, I'm going to use Magnus Box. And remember, if you ever go to Magnus Box, mention that you heard it on the Mike Tech Show. I use them, and I'm recommending that we get all of their laptops backing up every night to the cloud. So this way, we don't have a panic situation when something fails. But the moral of the story, you got to have a backup of that BitLocker key or you're done. That's it. So this was really nice, and they were all happy today. And we returned everything. They'll be getting a new laptop, and then we'll have that so we can onboard it and get everything ready. You know, we put Office, set up their email, and then encrypt the drive, make sure Malwarebytes Premium's on it, and our Synchro RMM agent is on it, and we have a full process for onboarding a client. Speaking of that, we just onboarded this week a client in South Florida, and they are now part of the MTS consulting family, which was great. So we had that work going on in the evenings after this. You could see we've just been insanely busy. So glad today was just a little quiet. I was following up on things I didn't get to yesterday, and here's one. One of our clients is getting cyber insurance protection, and of course, there's a questionnaire. They have to answer some technical questions, and I assist our clients when they have to have this. So today, I assisted them with getting the answers. Now, as you're helping answer these questions, this could be a great opportunity to upsell services, devices. An example, they have to have intrusion detection. A great way to now recommend a firewall that you manage that can do intrusion detection. Maybe they don't have the anti-ransomware, antivirus software properly deployed. This is an opportunity. So, but if they're already a client, we're already doing that. So these was very easy to answer these because they're all there. But I've had to answer that for a smaller client that they want this cyber protection, the cyber insurance policy. Hey, that insurance company wants to make sure that you have this, and you identify the gaps in answering these questions and then put a proposal or a quote together to mitigate these gaps. It's a great opportunity if you're involved with this. Take advantage of that. Now, I have a question for this very same client. They have a new web person. It's not an employee. This is a small company that has designed the server, the website on Squarespace. I've never worked with Squarespace. I've had some clients that used Wix, and I was able to properly take care of the DNS where they don't control it. There doesn't seem to be an option when you're trying to have your website go live on Squarespace. They want to take over the name servers. Here's my question, and we are submitting questions to their technical support to see if this is, what do they recommend. I want to deploy the website that the person designed, but we have to control the name servers and the DNS. I don't want to give that control and turn that over. How do you do that with Squarespace? Anybody that's out there, when you hear this, please email me. That would be an incredible help. Or if they can't, it's not possible, then that's it. We go in another direction. All right. I'm already, September 17th, I'm heading to Florida, and I'm already booking appointments while I'm down there for work. I'm going to be doing an identity theft webinar for a half hour for a financial advisor, their clients. So he's a client of mine. I'm going to get to present to his clients, which I can't wait. This is always an opportunity to pick up clients, and I love doing the marketing that way. And remember, last week we did one that was on site with a client that went well, and we couldn't record it. And I know PhotoRay's not going to be happy because it was a photographer, but they had no video set up to be able to record it. Since this is a webinar, I'm hoping we can record it. And I don't know, I may not have permission to share it because this is exclusive rights to my client. So I'll talk to him about that and see if we can. Don't know. Now, just we'll see. But I would love to get one of these recorded and then put it out on YouTube and then link to it. All right. That's enough for In the Trenches. Almost the whole show for that. But we got to reserve time for the main topic here, which is Facebook ad scam busters. There is a Facebook group called Facebook Ad Scam Busters, and that's going to be a link in the show notes. You have to join this group. I have a message that I'm going to read, and I don't know this person. Her name's Ann Scott, and she brings up a point that I have ran into, and it's really about PayPal. There's going to be two takeaways, and I'll give the end of the story first and then start discussing this. Facebook, if you see an ad, don't click on it. Don't buy from it. It's all, I'm not going to say 100%, but an extremely large percentage of scammers. And if you look at this Scam Busters group, it's unbelievable. The thousands of scammers out there, and PayPal's helping them. PayPal supports the scammers. They do not support you. This is from Ann, and I also have had this happen. She goes, I will never use PayPal again. Had concrete proof of being scammed, but they kept going back to the scammer who sent fraudulent records, and they accepted. Now, I'm going to stop there and interject. What the scammers do, they create a shipping label for UPS or Facebook. And then they have the tracking number. They give that tracking number to PayPal, even though it hasn't been delivered. It looks like it's shipped. Nobody from PayPal digs any deeper to determine. You have a shipping number? That's good enough. We believe the scammer. Let's not believe the person who was buying. That is the complete opposite for a credit card. And if you have a choice between using a credit card or PayPal, I used to lean to PayPal. I use PayPal a lot, but it's services that I normally deal with, and I don't mind. You know, I know I'm not going to be duped, or if I am, I got to be careful. It's not something that's shipping, because I had this happen over a year ago, might be even be almost 2 years, where they kept responding to me, the company, that it shipped, and it did not ship. When you look at the shipping number with UPS, it did not ship. They just created a label. Then there's another piece, another scam to this. I'm going to keep going here. She continues, fraud supposed shipping tracker that indicated it took, for example, 15 minutes to get from China to Canada. When I contacted PayPal, then they tried to show that legit, and I received a package the size of a CD case for something that is 8 feet by 2 feet in size. So what the scammers do is ship. Maybe it's a miniature version, not the real item that you were looking for, or they just ship anything just to show that it shipped. Because they do enough of them, and then they shut down and open up and try to sell something else. This is happening all the time. This is a major warning and is now going to become paramount in my presentations on cybersecurity and cyber theft. It's not identity theft, but the scam, it's horrible. So be careful using PayPal. It's not safe anymore to use PayPal. That used to be a nice safe haven where, oh, hey, you got PayPal behind me. Hey, they'll give me my money back. No, they won't. So I never received the item. Oh, well, excuse me. I received what they said was the item, and it was a big baby Yoda. I received a rabbit's foot in a little box. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. And I got burned out of $32. So I looked at that as a lesson and chalked it up to that. Never to receive the money back from PayPal, never to receive the item. It's not fair. And there are so many people that are impacted. She continues. Shipper indicated it is not indicated on Google an address. It's a vacant lot. So PayPal, they don't care and say that the shipping number is a valid shipping number. But when you look, now it is for an internal shipment and delivered in China. So here you got something that they delivered to someone else, and PayPal's accepting that? So she goes on, my personal solution, report to Facebook any ad that is a scam. Delete and indicate any ad is irrelevant and indicate that no further ads from that advertiser. Made sure no interests on Facebook and that all settings indicate as strongly as possible that Facebook cannot share, etc. You advise of 50 scams and delete everything except, etc. And guess what? No ads. So this might be another Facebook lesson here in a way to stop ads. Then a week later, they started showing up again and did the same thing. Ads have stopped again and for longer, hopefully permanently. I will not, no matter what, ever click on a link on a Facebook ad. I will continue to report and delete if anything further. It is horrible that Facebook and PayPal allow this and believe the scammers. Thousands of more people will continue to be ripped off. Governments and credit card companies, I got all of my, governments and regulators should not allow and take action. I got all of my funds back from my credit card company. So she must have everything linked using the credit card through PayPal. And me, I leave a balance in PayPal and use that. So that's where I did not have a remediation to call a credit card company when I got scammed. She canceled the card that she used, got a new one just to be safe, and taking the fraudulent package she received to PayPal Canada head office. So that was Anne's way of dealing with this. If you go to this scam, Facebook ad scam busters group, it's sad when you start seeing all of these posts. It's horrible. And some people respond, hey, use PayPal and you won't be ripped off. You should have seen the responses to that post. Hundreds of people backing this up of what Ann posted there, which is PayPal does not support the end user, the person using the service. And that's wrong. It's got to change. I don't know how it's going to change. And if it does, then we'll go back to supporting PayPal. But right now, I am going to advise clients, listeners, don't use PayPal unless it's an absolute certainty that that service you've dealt with before, it's the same thing. Like there's a software company I deal with that I buy my licenses. I use PayPal all the time. I've never had a problem with that service. I've used PayPal for Walmart purchases, for my place in Florida. There has been a lot of retailers that take PayPal now. And I don't mind using that. That's great. So just a lesson out there, spread the word. Let's make sure that we're not buying off of a Facebook ad from a company we don't know, and limit your PayPal use. Be very careful. So let's get to some email. This is disturbing. This is from Philip. And this is Philip the pilot. And this is a life hacker. And I'll have the link, life hacker link. You can gain admin privileges to any Windows machine by plugging in a Razer mouse. Boy, this was new to me. You got to be kidding me. You buy the wrong mouse and plug it in and you're vulnerable? It's getting horrible out there. Read the story. Phil, thank you for that link. I really, really appreciate it. All right, let's get to some more email. This is from Larry, regular listener and contributor. Mike, this portable duplicate finder was an article in Ask Woody. Ask Woody is a spinoff of the Fred Langa's Windows Secrets and the Langa List. By the way, I used to get that, and I do get Ask Woody, but I missed this. The download comes from a website called oldergeek.com. The website has an unbelievable amount of free software that they claim is no ads, no crapware. Post the links for your listeners to check it out. Larry, thank you very much, and I will put that link in the show notes. This is now a follow-up to my Windows Update problem, and I tried a bunch of things. So, this is from, this is from AY. We have ran into this problem about Office 2010 before, as well as other corruption issues with different pieces of software. We have found that SFC will fix it as long as you run the DISM/online/cleanup-image/restore health before it. As a general policy, whenever we run SFC, we first run the above DISM command, the DISM command, and have a much higher success rate of repairing corrupted Windows software, blah, blah, blah. If not, then we have found, like you did, that 21H1 in place will fix most Windows corruption issues. That's if it can install. I'm having trouble with the Windows Update Assistant even running. It fails. After you wait an hour, and on that first reboot, it fails, and you're back into the same version you were. I did that this end. No joy. There were email recommendations last week to run tweaking.com. Did it. No joy. The repair in ultravirus killer. Did it. No joy. None of these things have fixed it. So what I have done, the client travels to this area a couple times a year. They're on 1909 right now. I have stated, when next time you're coming down, let's schedule, bring your computer with me, with them, and back up all their data and redo the system with the latest, greatest Windows 10 and then put everything back. We are going to nuke and pave. It's the only way. I haven't had to try to run everything for another client, so let's see. Oh, here we go. This is good. This is from was continuing to listen to the show and wanted to mention we have had success using the utility from tweaking.com. It looks super sketchy, but works like magic. Note, it does take a long time. Yes, it does. And you were the second person to recommend tweaking.com. So not good that I keep running into this. The final email, and I've reached out to him. This is listener Chris, who he's responding to last week when I mentioned before you let a customer go, if it's getting over your head or there's things that you need help with, reach out to me. Chris reached out. Thank you very much. We're going to schedule a conference call to talk about my assistance with his business, and he is down south. We're going to see what we can do. And I bring that up for anybody who you're in the tech field, you're supporting clients, and maybe you don't support servers, but you have a new opportunity where there's a server involved. Loop me in. Let's see if I can help you, and we can work together. I now have a few opportunities like that happening around the country, and I love it, and I look forward to continuing to do that. It's a great way for me to grow my business, you to grow yours. I'll help you out. Let me know. That is it for tonight's show. I hope you liked it. And remember, if you are buying from Amazon, please use my Amazon link. It helps support the show. Instant House Call, we thank them for being a sponsor. Check it out, the ultimate remote control. If you are an IT professional or MSP, this is what you need to use to support your clients. And then Fab's Auto Backup. Boy, when I got that drive and entered the BitLocker key, what did I run? Fab's Auto Backup to get all the files and settings that I needed for all of the accounts that were listed, and made sure that it's all saved before I popped the drive out of the dock, and then copied that to a big USB stick, and that's what we dropped off today. So thank you, Fabs. That was awesome. And you can buy Fabs from the show notes at the website at MikeTechShow.com. This is from Mr. Sam in the chat. I use Revolut for that. Got a debit card on it. One time used the cards and can use it with Ideal. Ideal is a payment portal to pay with your bank in the Netherlands. Okay. I want to keep it simple. My credit card, I have a big credit card company that has been behind me if I had a problem, which anybody listening back to last year when I purchased the house in Florida for the second house, and my tales of woe and the services that didn't happen and things that didn't get delivered or were damaged. My credit card company was behind me 100%. That was great. It is very disappointing, and I should have brought this up about PayPal too. And I don't know why, and it was that note from Ann that just triggered, these emotions on PayPal, and I needed to review that for all of you, everybody that's within the sound of my voice listening to this. Hopefully this is a good takeaway for you, and you'll be protected, or at least better prepared to be able to deal with a possible scammer out there. That's it. No show next week. Be back the following week, right before Labor Day weekend. And everybody stay safe. Or that will be after Labor Day weekend, won't it? Yes, it will. So, you know what? That's a good point. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore, So, September 9th. Wow. I had to pause and look at my calendar. The next show is Thursday night, September 9th. Everybody have a great 2 weeks. And if you're celebrating Labor Day, you're in the States, have a great weekend. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.